Your ego is the problem. You need to start listening to your audience. Okay, this is going to be a tough one, guys.
I think your ego's a problem.
Yeah,
It
speak for yourself.
absolutely is. We don't like to take feedback.
Well, again, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
You mean most people?
Okay, let me reframe.
I
I
found-
don't like to take feedback. I don't like to be told this content's a bit shit or your audio quality needs work.
Or why do you exist as a human being?
Yeah, I mean, it could even get a whole lot worse. It does.
We did get told that, and I thought
yeah,
it was
we
quite
did.
funny.
Yeah. But, we have our own, our own reasons for that as well. Okay, we're going to talk today about how listening to your audience can really make a huge impact on improving your show.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we all know we need to listen to our audience. But it's really easy to say that.
And quite difficult to do.
Yeah. I mean, also, when you get ridiculous feedback, you're not going to take that too hard.
So let's qualify this. This is not about listening to the trolls out there. This is about listening to feedback that's constructive.
Well, trolls, that's unsolicited feedback.
Most of this feedback's unsolicited.
Well, I think that we should solicit the feedback.
I agree.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is that we should be listening to constructive feedback.
And asking for it.
And asking for it.
And asking for it.
Yeah.
So give us feedback.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Give us feedback. I can't
Full
remember
stop?
that. Yeah, I was trying to think of the man that said that we weren't really human beings.
We want to solicit feedback. We want it to be constructive. How do people physically give us feedback on a podcast? How do they go about doing that?
Well, okay.
Yeah. So any piece of content has the ability to comment on since the invention of YouTube and social media. And it's also one of the biggest mistakes some people do is switch off the comment section.
Oh,
Don't do that.
no.
I know we're all nervous about trolls, but everybody understands trolls these days. It's not new anymore.
Yeah.
So comment section is one of the better ways, but some people will email you
Yeah.
to your info at or
Yes.
whatever.
Okay, so that's
give
the
more
first
specific.
Or you
and
can
pretty
open up
simple
like
way.
a feedback at your podcast.co.za.
Okay. Yes.
I think, meet the people where they are. So make it
Okay.
friction free for them to give feedback. So most platforms would have a way to deliver feedback,
Okay.
but you can do emails, you can do polls on a lot of these platforms.
So on the platform like Spotify, where your podcast exists, you can ask people there to leave a comment at the end of the episode. Tell
Yeah.
us what you think.
Yeah.
Answer a question.
I think ask specific questions. I think be intentional with your call to action. Don't just say like leave a review. Say, what from today's episode are you going to implement in the next 10 days
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be specific. And that call to action is really, really important because people don't generally just think of commenting. If you ask them to comment, they
Yes.
will respond.
I also find that if it's an opinion that I'm being asked for, I'm more likely to give it.
Yeah.
If it's like a factual answer and I don't know the answer, a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
But if, what is your opinion on this or what
On a
would you
specific
do?
thing. Yeah.
Like,
Like-
those are nice questions to answer.
Yeah, we could ask the audience, what do you think about our wardrobe matching today?
Please let us know in the comments if you think Richard and Carl should have matching outfits in every single episode.
Yeah.
What if Richard or Carl disagrees?
Too bad.
Leave your ego behind the door.
Leave
Yeah.
your ego at the door.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so-
that's how people give feedback.
All right. So we want it to be friction-free, which means ask for the comments to be left on the platform and ensure that comments are open on that platform for comments
Yeah.
to be left.
Meet the
Okay.
people where they are. Be intentional with the feedback. Another thing you can do, which is slightly different to what we're talking about, is look at data. So we talked in a previous episode about the timestamps, and you can kind of then see what parts of your episode people are most interested in, and you could use that as like a signal.
Yes. Okay. So listen to the audience in terms of keeping
viewing habits.
keeping an eye on the trends
Yeah.
of how they're viewing your content.
Yeah, data is
Okay.
incredibly important
Yes.
because it's more quantifiable.
Right.
You can see drop-offs, all of that, and you don't need someone to give you a comment to tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Comments are really helpful to qualitatively assess what you're doing. So, in other words, how much quality or the nuances in it. If you start seeing a pattern in the conversation,
Yes.
that really helps. But sometimes the comments is a place for your audience to engage with the conversation. And then it becomes, again, a data thing. How much engagement am I getting into the conversation?
Yes.
Not necessarily what they're saying in the conversation.
Well, I think what we're trying to understand here is how do I get people to engage?
Yeah.
Right? So obviously they are naturally engaging with the content, and our data analytics will give us a view of where did people drop off, at what points did the content get very exciting and we had a spike, or the opposite, it got dry, people dropped off. Second thing is, now how do I get people to actually engage with the content by commenting? So that means there's some intention for them to engage. How do we physically do that?
Well, you've got to give them a reason to do it, first and foremost. So the call to action, the throwing it back at the audience. So in other
Okay.
words, hey guys, I'm really struggling with X decision. I've got this choice and that choice. What do you guys think? And in the next episode, I'll reveal my decision.
Okay.
So that causes a lot of engagement because
Yeah.
people are invested into you as a creator or a podcast or whatever, and then they want to be involved with the decision making. So then they have a discussion on the comment section, and then you also give them what they want, which is the decision in
Yes.
the next episode,
Okay.
which also causes more engagement with your next episode and creates a reason for them to come back.
Right.
So I think there's quite a few techniques you could use in engaging the audience, but
During the
that's-
content.
during the content.
Okay.
But that's really about letting audiences steer the content.
Right.
Letting the audience steer the content creates massive amounts of engagement.
Right.
You see it a lot in these teen group YouTubers. They will let the audience decide what
Who
their
does
next
what?
step.
Yeah.
They'll even let the audience decide who hooks up with who. In
Yeah, I
the
was
group.
going to say who does what with whom.
Yes. So scary trend, but
Yeah,
it really
yeah.
works.
There was another comment you made just now, Rich, about polls. So, I think maybe,
People
it
from
it can
Poland
be-
you're talking about.
No.
Oh,
Well, that was your comment. You said we should.
I was talking about people from Poland.
Maybe you were.
Yeah, no,
Social media polls.
yeah, I think they don't have to happen all the time, but you can almost do like a survey every 3 to 6
Okay.
months where you
Okay.
actually ask people specific questions. It's easy for them to fill in,
Yes.
but it's a good way to get feedback.
Okay.
I watch a lot of videos where literally, like as Carl's saying, there's a choice for someone to make, and they'll make a poll, and the users will go and vote on the poll.
Yes.
Yeah, I love
a
a
lot of
poll.
people do that. They're so easy.
Well, I think that's it. It doesn't require any thought. You're going to have a feeling one way or the other.
And it's reducing
box.
friction. We're not asking you to go and type a comment, and now you're putting yourself out there, and now
Yeah.
you've got to check your grammar, and
Yeah.
people are going to see your name and stuff. You're just voting on a poll. So it does work particularly well, polls and surveys and things like that. And you
Okay.
collect that data and use it.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
All right. Let's talk about getting specific feedback. So we've asked for people to tell us, what we should change or what they like or don't like. We've started getting some of this feedback. Should we implement every change that's recommended?
I think you got to look for patterns.
Okay.
One opinion doesn't really mean anything, but several opinions
Maybe it's a trend.
maybe is a trend, and you should look into that.
Okay.
And then I think it's important, just because someone thinks something doesn't actually mean you should have to do it. If it doesn't align with what you're trying to do with your podcast, don't do it.
Okay.
So take it all with a pinch of salt.
Right.
But also don't be afraid if someone does make a way out comment, but you sit down and think about it and you go, actually.
Yeah, if you feel it could fit
Let
with
me
what you're
try
trying to do.
that.
Well, I
Yeah.
think what's interesting is that if you do allow yourself to take some feedback and you listen to things that maybe you hadn't ever considered, there could potentially be some gems out there. And I think also, we are so focused on producing good content, and we've got these ideas in our head about how it needs to be. But at the end of the day, we are serving a purpose for a listener. And so if a listener is coming back to us with feedback and we don't actually take into account that might be better than what we're doing, it's a tremendously missed
what I'm
opportunity.
saying is if you are like a comedy podcast and someone gives you some feedback, you need to be more serious. I think you can ignore that. If you are
Absolutely.
a educational podcast and the
Yes.
person and feedback says your explanations are too vague,
Yes.
that's actionable feedback.
Sure.
That means what you're trying to put out there is not
Yes.
coming across.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's what I kind of mean by you don't have to take it on board if it doesn't
Yes.
align with what you're trying to do.
No, I'm agreeing with you. All I'm saying is that the possibility exists that one person has an idea that you haven't thought of.
Yeah.
And, you might do well to at least think it over.
And a really good way just to approach comments and feedback is to create a formal process for yourself, where once a week you get all the comments, you categorize them as trolls. Maybe you've got something definitely sounds like a problem, and then you go through it in a spreadsheet or whatever. And if you're a team, discuss each one and decide we're going to prioritize this. We're going to see how it happens in this area for a little bit longer before doing anything, and just prioritize them and go, we can make this change immediately. This is a horizon goal.
Yes.
This is something for next year. See what you can practically do with it. But create a regular system with your team or if you're a solo, make sure you do it every Monday or whatever, and give it attention.
Gets systematic about it.
I think that's the biggest problem with feedback. Is that we don't create processes for ourselves to really listen.
Yeah, well, it's because of our egos.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to just ignore the comments that deep down well, actually this person might have a point.
Yeah.
I think another category, I really like that idea of having, a spreadsheet or some sort of process that you can categorize your comments. And I think something that really needs to be prioritized is technical feedback. So feedback around like things like sound quality.
Yeah, and those are quick to action.
Visual quality.
Wardrobe decisions.
No,
like the more objective things.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And again, if you're going through that on a Monday morning and you're seeing technical comments, categorize them as urgent,
and fix them
immediate,
fast.
and you fix them overnight.
So I think,
call someone.
And the other ones, the more sort of subjective ones, take them on board, see if they are applicable, and then you don't have to beat yourself up about it. You can just slowly start making those changes. Even if you make a change every 3 months, you kind of don't want to receive a load of feedback and the next episode is just completely different with all your feedback taken into account.
And
could be quite weird.
Nothing wrong with asking someone in the comment section if they mean X or Y.
Oh, yes. So you're talking about responding to the comments that you get. Yes.
And engaging with that person to find out more.
Yes.
Because we've been in situations where we've got clients with comments and they're like, what do you think they mean?
Yes.
Well, let's go ask them.
Yeah.
You're in a conversation with this person. It means two-way.
Yeah.
Don't ignore them.
Yeah.
Acknowledge comments that are cool. There's a discussion around what to do with the trolls. Maybe just ignore them or say, thanks, buddy, but don't be a troll.
Maybe this content isn't for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you can, whatever your persona is, you respond in kind and treat your audience like people around the table on the Monday morning session, like as if they're giving you feedback.
Yeah, well, they are.
So weight it.
Yeah.
And engage with them about it. And you'll be surprised how many top fans you can create out of just giving them the light of day and acknowledging what they've said.
Let's go back to the discussion about content.
Yeah.
I think that another space that's an opportunity for content creators is the ability to listen for what people are looking for you to create for them. So requesting topic ideas or areas where you need us to cover.
Yeah.
You know, so for example, we're a podcast about podcasting. What are the hurdles that new podcasters are struggling with? What are the topics that we haven't covered yet that we could potentially cover and help with?
Yeah.
So opening that discussion, so it's not so much about the technical or wardrobe, but rather about what is being covered and what they would like to hear from.
Yeah. Because it's incredibly interesting. You think that you've created all this content and there's a million people creating content, so there can't be any unanswered questions. But there is so many blind spots in content because as creators, you know what you're talking about. You don't know what your audience doesn't know.
Yeah.
So it's a big opportunity to engage them. I would say, though, you need to build an audience that you want to keep before you ask them for comments
Okay, why?
on topics. Because once you know you've built the audience that you love, that's when you want to grow and nurture that particular group of people. If you ask a group of people that you feel is disparate and have different opinions about different things or whatever, and you ask them about topics, and the one group is louder than the group you want, you're going to start attracting more audience that you don't want.
Surely that just goes into the bucket of things you would consider and discuss.
Yeah, kind of
You
like
know?
what I was saying with is the feedback you're getting relevant? Or in a direction
Yeah, no,
you
but what
wanna
I mean
go?
is that it could be very relevant content, but it might steer your
Yes.
In the wrong
your
direction.
content into a direction you don't particularly
Yeah.
want it to go in,
Yeah.
but you're doing it because the audience is reacting. So I would caution against doing it maybe too early.
Okay.
And when you know you love your audience,
Yeah.
they will love you back. So
Yeah.
so just play it by ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's
Bear
also
that in mind.
like a 6-monthly survey or something to
Yeah.
your.
So I think polls
Your-
are really
yeah.
good for a startup thing where you give them 3 options. I want to talk about these 3 things.
Well, that way you can steer it in a certain direction that at least if they
Yes.
choose one of those, you're happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when you know you've got a big enough audience, asking the blanket, give me the topics,
Yes.
could be fine.
Sure.
But I would keep it to 3 or 4 options. Let them dictate the direction, but you're still in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've also seen a lot of people say, like, do a certain type of episode and then say, like, I'm thinking of doing a bit more in this style. What did you think of it and all of that? And I see often when people ask that, quite a lot of feedback, like,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
stick to the old stuff.
Yes.
I don't care for this. This isn't why I subscribed or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, that's
Yeah,
a great
that's
way
bold.
to respond to comments. So you've gotten 5 or 6 comments of going, hey guys, I think you should really relook your set. It's distracting. So then you change it up one episode and you go, hey guys, if you notice I changed my background, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
And that's a really good way of testing feedback as well.
Yes.
I love that kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
And also evolving your content. At a certain stage, you've gotten popular for a certain type of content, but it gets to a point where you have to diversify that content.
You have to be Madonna.
Yeah. And maybe this is another topic, but some people will actually start a separate channel for that new content to keep their original audience happy. But just be aware that now there's a new audience growing that's demanding something else from you. And again, that's all fantastic feedback, but don't destroy what
Yeah.
you've built.
Yeah.
What brought you there in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that a lot with creators. They pivot really fast to something that their core base
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah.
And now you can't go back. It gets really
Yeah.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Anything else you want to add
Yeah.
for our listeners?
Yeah, I think once you've got the feedback, you actually have to close the loop
Okay.
and utilize
What
it.
does that mean?
Well, actually use it and tell
Okay.
people
That you've done so.
that you've done so.
Okay.
So thank you for your feedback. We've decided to do this, that, and the next thing. You can do that through like on-air shout-outs. Thank you to, I don't know,
Bob, Susie,
Yeah.
and
The
Joe.
patrons.
and Joe.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of funnier names, but Bob, Susie, and Joe will be fun. And say, thank you for your feedback. We've implemented that. You can also do like listener Q&A episodes where you can answer people's questions. I think that works pretty well.
Okay.
So you're utilizing the feedback and showing
Yes.
people that you use the feedback.
Yes.
So just use it and don't be afraid to tell people that you have
done
used
so.
their feedback.
Okay.
And you might notice a change because of this, that, and the next thing.
Awesome. Good advice.
And love your audience. If you're not in content creation to build an audience, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So embrace the audience.
Yeah.
Love the audience.
Well, I think it's this weird thing that happens. You initiate a channel or a podcast in order to cover a certain topic that you're excited about sharing. And then as soon as the comments start flowing in, you start feeling a little bit defensive of that. And I firmly believe if you can lose that and you can embrace that engagement, which is really what we're seeking at the outset, then you will actually probably end up producing better content and be loved more by that audience, and so build it in listening to them better. Okay, in closing today, we need you to answer a question for us. Should we get more technical in our content? Let us know in the comments. Thank you and goodbye.